Hi, it's me again. Hi, hello, my name is Eli. I'm a lead team peer educator. You're probably tired of hearing that at this point. But today we're talking about depression and anxiety, the funnest topics. Uh, the funnest topics anyone could cover. So anyway, we have Nicole, we have Sophie and Alex. Introduce yourselves.
Hey, I'm So.
Nice. And is there anything else to you, or you just so?
Hey, I'm Soph. I'm a peer educator, and I'm also a nursing student.
Cool. So, hi, I'm Alex. I'm a peer educator, and I have a phobia of bees.
You have a phobia of bees?
Hello, my name is Nicole. I'm a peer educator and I like to rave.
You like to rave. That's right.
Yeah.
I somehow always forget that.
Bro, yeah, me too.
All right. Actually, raving. How long ago did you start raving?
Probably like a year ago.
How old were you when you started?
12.
2 years ago. No. 19, 20,
19,
12. 21.
21. So,
Yeah.
Okay, that actually is a really nice segue, because I used to not like stuff like that, things of that's big groups like that of people I don't know. I wouldn't be able to go by myself, right?
Mhm.
I don't think I'd be comfortable to go, because I get not anxious about big groups, but if it's a party and I'm the only one, if I know someone there but I don't really know them that well and I get invited over there, I get this weird sadness. It's the weirdest thing. I don't even know how to describe it, but it's I feel just sad and I don't want to go. You get me? So I used to feel when not uproar, because I had fun at uproar, but
Uproar was so much fun.
yeah, uproar was really fun. I didn't have that weird anxiety. It's a weird anxiety of feeling sad. It's not that I'm anxious. It's that I'm anxious to
You exist there. Yes.
huh?
It's the idea of you feel anxious that you're in a space where you don't know anyone, and the person you do know, you can't really rely on them.
Yeah.
You're just trying to fit in, but there's nowhere to fit in.
But
Well,
I feel, but it's a sadness. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
So, FIU does this thing. I forgot what it's called. It's they're ultra. I forgot what it's called. They're Summerfest. So, right, Summerfest. I got invited out by some friends that I kind of know. And it was that same feeling. You get me? So did that ever happen to you, Nicole, or Hoffy? What do you prefer to be called, Nicole or Hoffy?
Whichever.
Okay.
Actually, I don't mind. No, not at raves really, because everybody's so nice and everybody's always trying to talk to you, and it's everyone's so caring, I guess. More at parties though. If it's a party that I don't know a person, then I'm more anxious.
Okay.
But parties are smaller. Raves are I don't know. So maybe in smaller things I'm more anxious, and bigger things
so let's get into that. So what is anxiety? What is that? And what is anxiety and what is depression?
Well, which one do you want to know first?
Whichever. Surprise me.
Okay, well, depression is a condition of extreme sadness and loss of interest in things that you used to like. So if you always loved reading or something and now you are more tired and don't want to read, it's more you lose interest in things that were interesting to you before, and it could affect you over a long period of time and impact you physically, mentally, and socially.
So for example, let's say you like raving right now, but something happens and you start not to want to go and not feel the energy to go, right?
Yeah, it's more you lose interest in it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then going back off that, with depression though, it doesn't have to be a response to a situation. It can just kind of happen. It could be something that you can already have. It's not sadness. It's not temporary. It's more set in stone. If we're talking about depression, but people.
Yeah, it's something that's prolonged over time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then with anxiety, it's a state of uneasiness or apprehension that typically follows with compulsive behaviors and or panic attacks. Not necessarily but it is that feeling of unease and like apprehensiveness.
There's a difference to note though in depression. Like there's grief, right? There's depression from grief, and then there's depression like not related to grief. And with grief, it's like more it happens and it's like completely like understandable, and that's like you'll go through it. You feel me? Well, was that depression? You can have something like you can have major depressive episode, which means it's major depressive disorder, which is, if you think about it, it's like this line, right? So this is the normal line, for a lack of a better word, and then you'll have a dip, right? So let's say it's like this, right? So this is normal line. This is like super, like this is the lowest you can be. So you have a dip to like up about here. This can last for a while, but then you will normalize, right? And then in PBD, which is persistent, I forgot the term. I can't believe I always trip up on the term, but PDD, so that persistent depressive disorder, you never really go back up. You're always kind of here, and you have very differences of
Like stages.
stages, but you never really go back up.
Right.
And then double depression is the worst one, where you're here, right? You're at PDD, but you dip really low, but you never go back up to normal. You always stay below the normal line.
Right, but
And I don't want to call it normal. I want to call it like a
like
stable.
normal. I feel like you should say average, only because
Yeah, like I wouldn't say normal. I mean like
like the
flat,
basis,
right? The flat,
Like
the
flat,
Yeah, like a baseline. Yeah.
yeah, the baseline. Let's say baseline. I like baseline better.
Baseline.
But yeah, so I've never really. I don't think I could ever say that I like really felt anxious, like anxiety. I felt like anxiety about things, right?
Right.
But like I don't know, like anxious about if someone's gonna break up with me or not. So there's that kind of stuff. Anxious about tests and like not being able to get in grad school. And it always feels like this like oh man, it feels like this internal kind of like pressure, like inside. You get me? It's like this cold kind of pressure.
Yeah.
Has anyone here like ever felt like anxious? But like, how does that feel?
Yes.
So it basically, I think it's important to note that like it's gonna be different for everybody.
Mhm.
Like the two different people are not gonna feel the same exact thing when they're anxious. The same when like if you're depressed, you're not gonna feel the same exact thing. I mean, like the DSM may list like symptoms and bullet points such as like worthlessness, guilt, changes in appetite in the case of like depression, and then maybe in the case of anxiety, it could be like irritability, feeling restless, keyed up, or on edge. But how that feels for you is going to be different from how that feels for me. So I mean, for me, maybe what makes me anxious is like a certain situation, whereas for you it's like being with a certain group of people, if that makes sense. And then when I'm feeling anxious, like I feel tight in my chest, my hands sort of start to like sweat and tingle. So yeah, it's gonna feel different for everybody.
You know, I'm a very like I tend to be very anxious about most everything. It's like a really bad tendency because I feel like I'm always on edge.
Sorry,
But,
the
like-
you said that was kind of funny. It's like I feel kind of anxious, like about everything.
Yeah, no, like I feel like it's not the feeling of gratefulness that like some people don't feel that, but it's like
Mhm.
like anything that I do throughout the day, there's always like my stomach is always in a knot. My hands are sweaty. Like it's like every step of like my life, I take it with an ounce of like weight. And especially like now that we're in quarantine, the anxiety that gets produced through me is like the feeling of being trapped, of restlessness. Even when I'm exhausted, I can't sleep because my mind is like on overdrive, overthinking,
Mhm.
not wanting, and then like the opposite, not wanting to get up. But it's just stuff like that, at least in this time.
Yeah, and I think it's important to note that during this time of like self-isolation and quarantine and things, like people don't have the same routine that they had before. So it may be easier to fall into like these patterns of anxiety and depression.
Yeah, and the coping is different too. Like so I get really my room is depressing. It really is. It really is like these four walls really if I stay in here for too long, it really brings me down. It really it brings me down so hard. Like I just feel sadder just staying indoors. So thankfully we can still go out and exercise. So that's what I've been doing. I've been cycling like every day, like literally every day. Like there hasn't been a day since the quarantine started that I'm not outside on my bicycle or in my car. Like I am out or running or jogging or anything because I can't stay inside. And it with the right, so like the four walls really it makes me sadder. Like staying inside makes me sadder. So there hasn't been a single day that I haven't been outside biking. You get me? So
Proud of you.
sorry, I'm like blanked.
Excellent.
Oh, so coping, right? So it kind of sucks because the way I would cope with things, like things that affect my mental health, you get me, like the loss of relationship or not doing well in school and other things too, right? So like things that like just negative self habits that I have, like some negative self doubt and kind of I'm not that great, those kind of feelings. So yeah, so those things that affect my mental health, the way I would cope is I would go to a park and I would go hang out with some friends to get my mind off things. Guess what I can't do anymore? Go to a park and hang out with people. So yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, for me, I mostly get when I get really anxious, like usually I don't feel anxiety until it builds up so much and then like I die and I have like an anxiety attack and I can't breathe and it's like really, really bad because it's like, I don't know, it's such a bad feeling.
Do you not notice it when it's building?
No, like it just happens, like, and then I'll realize like, wow, it's because I'm so like worried about school or about all this stuff, and then like I'm like I can't breathe, and then I know it's so bad, but basically I found tricks, to help, and basically there's this thing where you like, I don't like the breathing stuff, like take a deep breath and whatever, because like that makes me more anxious because I'm like, oh my god, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
I've heard
I feel that.
Yeah,
that
so
happens to me too. It's like you can't breathe and then they're telling you to breathe and it's like,
and I
I
can't.
can't breathe.
It's so bad. I know. So usually I think everybody was in that meeting when that went with that presentation in when that guy was saying how like, oh, look for something.
Lennox,
Yeah.
So just to give some background on what she's talking about, sometimes we have internal meetings where we have like a presenter talk to us, and we had the director of CAPS actually come in and talk to us. So the guy that she's talking about is actually the director of CAPS, Dr. Todd Lennox. Salute, captain. And he was saying how to like ground yourself, right? And he was talking about like looking around the room and noticing something you didn't notice before. And then stuff like that. And you were saying, Nicole, that doesn't really help you?
No, that does help me.
Oh, that does help you. The grounding stuff helps you.
So I look around the room, I find something, and then I focus on it, and then it eventually goes away.
The breathing thing helps with me when I'm mad, not necessarily when I'm anxious, because like it's like I'm and I calm down. But if I'm like, that happens to me too. If I'm like freaking out about something and I'm like, okay, just breathe. I'm like, my breathing is like deregulated. So I'm just like, you get me? So it's like, so it's like, I can't, you know what I mean?
How I feel.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, I just found that actually, so what I've been doing now is working out, to kind of, I guess, to fill in the gap of like, I don't know, just regular life, right? Yeah. And what?
Stuff. Not being able to go out and stuff. Just bleep it.
That's funny. I'll see if I can bleep that. I'll write that down. So that's how I've been coping. I've been working out, and I've been, because I used to work out when I got like, when I started to feel depressed in the past, I would try to work out. I would try to go on like my bicycle. Like these are things I've tried before, and they didn't really work out. Like I never felt good after a workout up until now, which is weird. Maybe it has to do with the fact that there's nothing else I can really do. But like runner's high and stuff like that never really hit me. You get me? I've never really felt that. I never felt good like it's never cheered me up when I'm feeling really, really blue or really, really down. And if anything, it just kind of made it worse, to be honest. But now, for whatever reason, it's working. So I don't know. I don't know the science about that there.
I feel so hyped for everyone that's working out during these times because I cannot bring myself to do it. It is
I'm so lazy.
I think you're getting sweaty and I'm like, it can't be me.
I tried. I worked out for like the first week of quarantine, and like I was going strong, and then I got.
Does it make you feel better though? Like, does it like?
It's
how does working out affect when you're feeling anxious or like or sad or like depressed?
Well, no, working out is it's proven to boost your mood.
Yeah.
Because of whatever happens in your brain.
but has it worked for you, would you say? And that's for everyone.
It does.
Sometimes.
How about you, Sophie?
I don't know.
I mean, when I used to work out, it would help me just because, like Nicole said, like it does boost your mood. Like something does happen up here and you do feel better, but I haven't worked out in a while just because I've been so busy. And now during quarantine, I told myself, I was like, I'm gonna have so much time on my hands, might as well just get back into working out. But most of the time I just don't even feel like getting out of bed during this quarantine because I just feel so down being stuck at home.
Yeah.
So how have you been coping? How have you been dealing with that?
I've been half of the time at my house and half of the time at my boyfriend's house to change up the scenario, like the scene, I guess. I've also been just like focusing on my homework, trying to do better in classes, to finish strong since I'm graduating. And
you and Nicole are.
Yes, congrats. But yeah, like I haven't really been able to do anything new, I guess. Like a whole bunch of people are trying to do like new things to like get them busy and stuff, but I can't seem to do that. I don't know why. Like I just feel so down during quarantine. I have been playing lots of Animal Crossing though.
Is it fun?
It's super fun. So it's like a virtual reality. So you're kind of like away from everything else, and you have to play with friends. So like you're hanging out with friends, but like in isolation.
If I could say something to what you said, like, oh, my eye's twitching. Okay.
Let me just fix that.
Like I have trouble. Leave my eye alone. I have trouble getting up too, but coffee makes me want to get up. Like the taste of coffee makes me get up, but that's besides the point. Something that I do like every day, like I mean I cut my hair and I dyed it, but like not everyone's gonna do that. I try that.
I wish I could. I've been dying to get a haircut for weeks and I don't trust myself to just chop it all off. I don't trust myself.
Something. Like I can't tell you. But like yeah, that's something obviously not everyone's gonna do. They don't feel comfortable doing. But like I said it before, but like just putting on a pair of jeans and sneakers to me, I feel like I'm doing something. And then like I'll have like mini photo shoots, just feeling myself. Because it's like I'm getting ready, even though I'm not doing anything, it makes me feel like, okay, I'm pumped, I'm up. I might do my makeup and it boosts my mood and it makes me feel like doing something else, even though I don't do much, but still.
So what also could help is like I try to make a schedule of like everything I'm gonna do every day. So like I like making lists because it makes me feel productive. So if I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna maybe focus on school this time, then have time to myself for like another hour or something, then I feel like I have something to like keep me accountable. Because like before I would be able to like go to school and actually go learn, but now that I'm at home I don't want to do anything, so I have to like focus that at this time I'm gonna like study and I'm gonna get out of bed. So
yeah, I haven't been studying. I need to get on that. Finals are coming up. Like it's bad. Like school wise, it's been bad.
Yeah.
But something that was interesting that you noticed there, because you said you used to go when we all had going to school and stuff. That life that life.
I miss that life.
Me too.
I genuinely miss going
here's what's
to
interesting
school.
about
I miss
that,
the
though.
drive.
But here's what is interesting about that. Yes, right. I agree. I miss it. But it's given me time to really cope with things and deal with like my own issues in a different way. So it's really forced me to sit with myself, if that makes sense, because I had the distraction of going to school, right? So I had, all right, so I'm feeling sad about something, right? Because I do have these pits or these like yearly, I don't know, circumstances or whatever. I don't know what to call them. I have these yearly dips, right? So it's happened every year since forever that some point in the year I have a dip, right? I call them mood drops because that's the only way it makes sense to me. I call them mood drops. So I have these dips that I'll be good, and then something will happen, or nothing will happen. It depends. I don't know. It'll just go pop, right? And then eventually it'll climb back up without really me realizing, and then it'll dip again. So like I can at least say, well, last year sucked, but I can say that usually I have like 2 or 3 like big dips throughout the year. And that's when I really start focusing like on oh, it's today is February 2018. You get me? Like I'll think about the date and like the time that I'm in, and then when I don't have that dip, when I'm coming back to normal, time kind of flies by until I have another dip. And when I had school,
You had things to fill in the void.
yeah,
right?
I had distractions to fill in time, right? So I had multiple jobs. I had this one and other jobs. I had school. I was hanging out with people. I was doing other things. You get me? I was painting. I was whatever it is that I was doing something else. And I guess ironically, this pandemic has in a weird way kind of given me an opportunity to not have any of these distractions, because I still have school, right? I still have finals that I haven't studied for, but it's like I have this unique time to really sit with myself and process things that I've been kind of not necessarily ignoring, but half-assing for a while. You get me? So in a weird way, this is helping my mental health. Isn't that odd?
Yes, but it could also be worse for some people, because people who need the distractions and they need
don't
get out of bed, like now they're stuck at home and they have nothing. So like it's good for you.
But I'm saying, I'm saying I'm the same
Yeah.
way, and I'm saying in a weird way, this has made me kind of like, because I had the school and stuff, right? So I would go to school, I would feel sad, and then I'd be in class, and then I just feel sad in class, and it'd be kind of this like routine, this autopilot thing
Right.
that I'm going through, and
so
then
you didn't have that time or that drive for introspection. I'm the same way. Like
I didn't have the time, not the drive, the time.
Exactly. It's like no time to be like sit down with yourself and say, why do I feel this way? Why this? Why that? And it's the same with me with like just certain things that before I was like very like pushing it away because I was like, this will hurt me. And now I'm like facing it because I know it's the truth and I can't push it away anymore. But yeah, definitely for other people, like people are relapsing into like certain situations.
Yes, they are.
They're in toxic households. It's like they were forced to go back. That is scary. Like I feel bad for people that are going through that, and we need to recognize that. And it's like
it's tough. It's
exactly
tough.
like we need to recognize that like all of this is really subjective.
Yeah.
So it's completely individual to every person. It's not going to be the same for everybody. So maybe some people find some comfort in being at home during this time, and others just don't. They miss that routine that they used to have.
I think if they took out outdoor exercise, then I would lose my mind. I think for sure. I think the walls would consume me. Because I just feel so down inside. You get me? Like I find myself like leaving my room, going to the living room, walking around, and then coming back in, and then just wanting to leave. Like I just can't. So I think the exercise has really it has weirdly, being forced to exercise as the only other thing I can do has actually boosted me a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, something that's been helping me, just because like I'm also one of those that can't stay in their room for too long because I feel really sad. Even though my room is like really bright and stuff, I have like a huge like balcony window that brings in a lot of light. I still get sometimes like really depressed in there. So I'm just like in the process of ordering a lot of stuff to redo my room to try to make me happier in it.
Right. So in your room, that's another thing people can do, right?
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah.
Genius.
It's actually really fun.
Genius.
I love
So
that.
I think we've gone on for a little bit now. It's been good. I like the vibe. But does anyone have any last things they want to comment on depression, anxiety, or coping, or how it feels, or anything like that? Any last thoughts?
Watch
Anything?
anime.
Watch anime?
Watch Hunter x Hunter.
Watch Hunter x Hunter.
Why? Why watch Hunter X
Because it's
Hunter?
good.
It's good.
It's good.
Good.
Yeah.
Does
Watch
everyone
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's so good.
Wait, what'd you say? Oh,
My
Brooklyn.
sister's hooked on that.
Brooklyn
I don't
Nine-Nine. It's so funny. I can't stop watching it.
No, I don't like any of these. None
Watch
of
My
them.
Hero Academia. That is good. That is a good one.
If you wanna, I can't even recommend that show. It's so. I was gonna say. Happy.
That was outside. I don't know.
What?
Okay, like every day around this time, there's like a couple of kids that just scream bloody hell. And that was
Children. Ugh. I'm kidding.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
They're cute when they exist, but
They're cute when they exist.
When they just
that's my personal opinion.
That we're not affiliated with that. That's her personal opinion. CAP's organization is not.
Oh my god, yeah, that's horrible. Don't cut that. Well, I mean, you probably will, but yeah, that's
No, I
awesome.
probably won't. I absolutely won't. So anyway, if that's it, if you guys have no more comments, thank you guys for joining me. I think we covered some good stuff today. We kind of talked about how it feels. We kind of talked about how to cope. And then we gave some standard definitions on what those situations could feel like. So all right, yo. That has been. I hit my chair and I went down a little bit and I got scared. Anyway, that has been our episode. Thank you for thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Oh, and as always, you're not alone.
You're not alone.
And as always, come on, everyone say it together.
Oh, we're also
So-
gonna say it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
You're not alone.
You're not alone.
You didn't say as always.
Oh, okay, all right. So let's do it again.
Yeah,
Let's do it
we were
again.
waiting for
Let's-
that.
Let's do it again. All right. 1,
Okay.
2, 3. And as always,
You
you're
are
not
not.
alone. What was that, Sophie? You didn't do it.
Do it again.
Okay, all right, okay. And as always,
You're
you're
not
not alone.
alone.
I feel like it's delayed every single time.
Yeah, like
Whatever,
everyone's
it's
saying
fine.
it at
I'm
different
like
time.
waiting.
I mean, different time.
Want to do it one more time?
It's fun though. Oh, one more time.
One more time, okay.
Okay.
So, and as always,
You're not
you're
alone.
not
Oh my
alone.
god.
Whatever. You know what? That's just staying in. That rough.
Cut the camera.
Sorry, my parents were screaming. Oye!
Wait,
Oye!
probably gonna get
Oye,
cut.
estoy grabando!